And I rise to support this appropriations bill. Honorable Speaker, I will restrain myself from speaking to the gallery and answering to the many things that the leader of minority has spoken to, because it is within his right as a leader of minority to play to the gallery and raise issues that may not necessarily be in this appropriations bill. But Honorable Speaker, allow me, because one of the things I've heard being mentioned is the question of monies being allocated in this appropriations bill.
Yes, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, is it in order for the majority leader to term the discussions and the opinions of the minority leader as playing to the gallery? Is that in order?
The minority leader himself is not protesting. Go on.
Honorable Speaker, it's good to indulge that honorable member. He was simply seeking for attention, but I have the minority leader's attention. I don't need his attention. Honorable Speaker, I was saying, speaking to the question of pending bills, Honorable Speaker, in this appropriations bill, Honorable Speaker, because it is simply buttressing what we did during Committee of Supply, and we were all here during Committee of Supply, and I must thank all the members who stayed on here until about 10 p.m. to supply resources to our MDAs. And Honorable Speaker, unlike what is being said, it is true that in this appropriations bill and what we supplied to our MDAs, for instance, the largest pending bills are in the road sector. And indeed, all these members in this House, Honorable Speaker, will tell you, in each of our constituencies, we have either a road that was to start that is yet to start, or a road that had started but stalled because of pending bills, Honorable Speaker. And the quantum of those pending bills, if members care to listen to the chairman of the Budget Appropriations Committee, was a quantum of close to 1 trillion shillings. That means half of the resources we will generate in terms of ordinary revenue could only go towards settlement of pending bills in the road sector, Honorable Speaker. But amidst all the constraints that we have with our resources, Honorable Speaker, the Budget and Appropriations Committee and indeed the House last week in supplied a quantum of 250 billion shillings to the road sector to help start dealing with the question of pending bills in the road sector. And indeed, Honorable Speaker, you will see with time, as at when exchequer releases begin, hopefully after the month of July, Honorable Speaker, if we agree with the chair of the Finance Committee and finish with the finance bill third reading today or in the course of the day tomorrow, Honorable Speaker, and we are able to generate adequate revenues to be able to unlock the question that the leader of minority rightly says, that we have a huge problem of pending bills. That 250 billion shillings to the road sector is not enough. Even after rationalizing all those roads projects that have been committed to, the figure came to about 730 billion. Therefore, it tells you, even if we were to allocate resources, not to deal with new projects, and I just want to inform the House and the leader of minority that we are not dealing with new road projects, we are dealing with those already committed road projects. And it would take ordinarily, either we commit the entire of our development expenditure to the road sector without having to deal with anything else, or we do what the Budget and Appropriations Committee recommended, that we allocate 250 billion shillings this year. If we perform better in terms of revenue allocation, next year we can do another 300 to 400 billion shillings. And with time, by the third year of this administration, we should be able to have cleared all those pending bills and contracts that have already been committed to, and be able to begin to embark on new projects. Therefore, allow me to just inform the leader of minority that indeed there are no new road projects. We are committed to completing those that were committed contractually before the last regime. If you look at the education sector, Honorable Speaker, and members will remember when we begin this session in January, our children had just opened school, and there was a crisis on CBC, the junior secondary schools, capitation of junior secondary schools, capitation of those in CBC classes, Honorable Speaker, was a big problem. But in this appropriations bill, we are appropriating a whopping 630-something billion shillings going to the education sector to ensure that CBC is not just something we are talking about, but something that we are actualizing and committing resources to. And it's not just the junior secondary school, even capitation of our day secondary schools and our boarding schools to ensure even our free primary education sector that resources are going to our schools, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, there is also money that has been appropriated to the social services sector. And you have seen in the press recently, Honorable Speaker, as much as our media houses